You guys know it's harder than words? Intros. Hey guys, welcome back to the Words Are Hard show. As always, we're just three stupid guys sitting in front of a camera. We don't have any topics brought up because last week we explained it. Go ahead and watch those episodes if you really want to know what's going on here.
Hit the randomizer, Mike.
That's right, we got a randomizer.
Spin the wheel.
We're going to randomize some topics. Let us
Spin
know.
the wheel.
Shut the fuck up. Let us know the topics that you want to hear in the comments below, along with the suggestion. And if we pull your topic out of the randomizer, we'll do the suggestion.
Yeah,
Don't say it, Greg.
Welcome to the Words Are Hard show, where we say we're not going to explain it again, and then we explain it again anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Explanations are hard. Go. Today we're going to talk about kids.
Kids.
Chillins.
I don't
no.
like kids.
That's right. Greg and I have beards, so
Kids are dumb.
it's a touchy topic to talk about kids.
Don't say touchy when talking about kids.
I know. what was I forget. I think it might have been Louis C.K. who talks about how, or no, it was Dimitri Martin who mentioned that you can't, you can say you like kids, but you can't be specific. You can't be like, I like 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, one of the reasons why the topic went in there is because I wanted to talk about, do you guys want kids at all? And why or why not?
I used to think I wanted kids.
Yeah?
And then I realized
Kids.
I was a dumbass when I was a kid. More so than now. And so like I know how I was as a kid. I wasn't like a bad kid, right? Like I didn't like purposely get in trouble, but I was mischievous.
You're scared of winding up with mini yous, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So like my parents were downstairs. Like we used to live in this.
Then why don't you just do a good job raising your kid?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you're
sure.
scared of being a committed parent? Is that what you're saying?
Effectively. So like one of the first houses that we lived in when I was like 2 was this like 2-story duplex, and I was my parents put me to bed. They're downstairs in the living room, and they hear thump 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 thump, and like, oh fuck, what was that? So they go to the bottom of the stairs.
That was Alex standing at the bottom of the stairs going.
I'm like running up the stairs, and like I look down and I see my parents. I'm like, "Hi, Dad!" And I get on my butt and I go, like I'm scooting down on my butt going down the stairs.
How is that a bad thing?
I scare the shit out of my parents.
They thought you fell
So
down the
that's-
stairs.
Oh, I used to tumble down the stairs into our concrete basement all the time, like
Explain something.
head over.
I understand so much now.
So there's another situation where my dad was in the living room and he hears something out in the kitchen. He's like, "Xander," and then he hears the fridge door open.
Hold on, who?
Yeah, who's Xander?
Xander. So like Alexander. It's a French thing if you're pronouncing the last part of the name. Fun fact, look it up.
So
What?
you were known as Xander to your parents when you were a kid?
Alexander.
So I'd
or
be Call
Xander.
and you'd be Egg. This is weird. You can't just cut out the first part of somebody's name.
No, like my grandmother used to call my mother Dean because her first name is Geraldine.
If anything, you call her Gerald. This is.
I'm going to call you Xander from now on.
This is all ass backwards.
Like I respond.
All right, Ike.
Yeah.
Because this it's for longer names.
Egg. I'm Egg.
For longer names. No, so he'd be Gory.
Gory.
Oh, yeah, that's actually cool.
It's,
Call me
it's,
Gory.
it's I don't even know where it really originated from.
This is the
That was
Xander,
told
Ike,
as a
and Gory
French thing,
show.
but I've never heard it in any other context other than my mother being called Geraldine.
I know
And
this. I
Dean,
know we were talking about kids, but this is fucking.
I know,
This
this
is
is something else, right?
Fascinatingly weird that they called you
Xander.
And
Yeah.
other people are probably watching, going, "No, it's normal."
Yeah,
But, I mean, like,
we're the weird ones, Mike.
yeah,
We're the weird ones.
Yeah, no, I went by Xander, and like my mother and my father. I think my grandfather called me Xander once, but that was about it. But my whole life. So I have an identity crisis, either Alexander or Xander, in the household. Anyway, so like he heard something in the kitchen. He's like, "Xander," and then he heard the fridge door open. "What are you doing?" And then crash. He walks out. He runs out into the kitchen. And he sees me with a bowl of soup on my head. And I'm like, "Hi, Dad." Apparently that was a common thing.
You were a special child,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Apparently, yeah.
You were
So
just
like,
dumb.
they just mischievous.
I can understand
right?
why you're iffy on whether you want to have kids or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I was a pretty good kid, and when I was younger, like I hated kids, like literally. Up until probably about 18 or 19 years old, I literally hated kids. Like I was actively like, fuck, I hate kids, right?
fuck everything.
I
About
was
these
gonna
children.
say fuck kids.
I know. I was waiting
I'm
for it.
not.
Fuck everything about.
You were
these
gonna pull an
children.
Alex.
But pull a Xander. But
Pull a Xander.
but you know, like my wife wanted kids, and you know, the more and more I thought about it, the more I was just like, well, my kids don't necessarily have to be assholes, right?
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is,
I can do it right.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. If I don't, then the goal is just for him not to die, unless he kills a bunch of people. If your kid kills a bunch of people, just
Disown him.
kill him.
You just disown him at that point.
I mean, the parents of like a mass serial murderer, are they just kind of like, oh, I just want to be a good parent, and make sure he stays alive and he stays safe? And it's like, at what point do you go, oh, okay, never mind?
Well, actually, you say that, but the
at what point do your parenting goals become just fuck him?
the mother of one of the Columbine shooters goes around and does inspirational speeches now, like to not necessarily to like clear her son's name or anything, like to try to defend her son, but like she does inspirational speeches on. Well, I don't know. Actually, no. She did a TED talk.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's psychological reasons and circumstances behind what they did, and despite how bad it is, there is an extreme environmental cause towards it.
Oh, exactly.
This is a funny show. Anyway, so one of my experiences when it came to kids is I was like 15 years old.
Sure.
I was out on my back step, right? And like, I didn't really give a shit at this point, but we were right across the street from the elementary school that I went to as a kid. And right next to my house was a walking path that led to the sidewalk. It went through the woods, and it was paved and just open, so obviously everybody used it, right? So sitting on the back step, and this fucking kid walks by who looks no older than 5 or 6. He's got like a Digimon backpack or whatever, and his raincoat, and he's walking, and he's fucking smoking. He was smoking a cigarette, I hope.
You hope.
And I was like, and I just stopped for a second, and me, having never given a shit before, would normally just go, ha, and then, Oromocto, and then look away. But I remember I looked at him, and I was just like, what the hell are you doing? And I said it out loud to him, and I remember he turned around, and he's just like, what? And I was just like, you should not be smoking. How old are you? And he goes, fuck off. And then he walked away, and I was like, I hate kids. I never want kids. Kids these days suck.
So either he was like a really young looking like 19-year-old.
Yeah. He was a midget.
Yeah, he was older than you, Mike.
He was just a dwarf.
Mike's a dick to midget. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and I was just like, how old are you? And he's like, fuck off.
This is the story of how Mike met Peter Dinklage.
In his mind, he's like, my life is hard enough, asshole.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Call me an elf one more time.
Oh my god, that would suck. Well, it's his own fault for wearing a Digimon backpack and like a bright, like, green, like, rubber
I missed that part.
raincoat. Right. Yeah. And his rubber boots.
That sounds just like my bright green raincoat and Digimon backpack that I have.
Yeah, that time that you were smoking and you told somebody to fuck off.
Except I wouldn't be confused for being a young little kid.
Not by me, anyway.
So yeah, kids.
Well, my thing is that I was just like, I could probably raise a successful child, I think. I would like to believe that. But back then at the time, I was like...
I think you could give it a shot.
I was like, I don't want to... Well, that's how it starts. But, like,
You'd definitely try.
At the time, I didn't want to bring a kid into the world where there was kids like that around. And I was just like, fuck that. I don't want my kid to have to go to school and deal with that smoking little 5-year-old shithead. Like, I didn't have to deal with assholes until like late middle school, early high school. And
that's
then,
where
like,
I was lucky. I grew up and went to high school in Heartland. Like,
how big was your graduating class?
There was like 30 of us.
Wow.
Huh. I thought mine was small. We had 60.
I had like 400.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I was really lucky.
And mine's not even a big school.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? There's schools out there that have like couple thousand.
Well, you're talking about a school that probably had a few hundred students total, right? So.
Yeah.
So here's the new thing though with kids is that kids that we'll say if the three of us have a kid, 9 months from now, right?
We all have kids.
We all have a kid at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Let's hope they're either all guys or all girls, because I don't want any of our kids dating, because that would just be a huge mistake.
I think that would be awesome.
Come on. What if one's a lesbian?
Okay.
Or
Only if I have a boy and Alex's kid is a girl, and then they date.
No. I have a weird feeling, just because of who Alex is, that he's like weirdly fertile, and I wouldn't want like any of my kids to date his kids.
I see that too.
weirdly fertile. Not a word I've ever been described as before.
How would you describe your co-hosts? Oh,
weirdly fertile.
Weirdly fertile.
Okay, I was about to get real for a second. So as far as us having kids, the three of us having kids, we have to raise our kids in a world where cell phones are a thing. Where like I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 15 because I was able to pay for it at that point.
Well,
the internet. Well, I mean, we had the internet. Well, we had the internet when we were growing up.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm
had to deal with like MSN or like online messenger where they're strangers online. Yeah. We were really the first generation that had to deal with that. Right?
But the thing is like growing up, like my parents' knowledge of technology and the internet was
minimal.
Yeah, I mean, like it was more than what I had, but
yeah.
But we're all in the IT industry.
Yeah.
Like we're fine. Like we will always be 2 steps ahead of the kid.
You hope, right? Either that or they're going to immediately surpass us. And we're fucked.
I don't think so, because I'm going to be the one who controls the restrictions and the monitoring, and you know what I mean, because I know how to do stuff.
My router is going to be set. They're never going to know that my password for the.
They're not even going to know which one is your router, because you're going to turn on that stupid little device that you got that mixes it up. There's going to be like 50 routers listed.
Yeah, I'm going to get a Wi-Fi jammer. No. I mean, there was this huge thing that I was watching where they were talking about where this lady was like giving advice for kids with technology, and they're like, once in a while, just be like, I'm going to take a look through your phone at a random time, so always be ready for that type of thing. So always be responsible with it, so I can look through it. And it's like, you're going to create this sort of like mistrust with your child, because like that's the thing. Like as soon as you give them like the trust, then they're usually more responsible with it.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah, it's when you start restricting them that they want to go outside
See,
of
Mike,
those boundaries.
it's an attitude like that that gets your kid sending nudes to other kids.
And that's fine, because I'm going to have gorgeous kids.
that was kind of weird.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like I'm going to have like it'll be like, oh, that's Daddy's gun locker. You can't open that, and inside is just like the router's locked up.
I was thinking more along the lines of that's
so
Daddy's
shitty.
gun cabinet, and then if you open it up, it's full of like food. And you're trying to keep.
Where the hell is
food.
your mind going? We're talking about raising children.
Okay,
Yeah,
if
and you're just thinking about hoarding food.
Well, no, I'm saying you'd keep food away from your kids.
Are you hungry, Greg?
Hey, if you leave the keys around to your gun cabinet, you're a bad parent in the first place. I leave mine. Oh shit! Where's the key? There it is. I leave the key to my gun cabinet on my key ring. That's not the one. It's here somewhere. I did not lose the key to my gun
That's
cabinet.
responsible.
Yeah.
I've got a gun to a key, or a key to a gun cabinet.
I've got a gun
somewhere.
to a key cabinet.
Yeah, I got a gun to a key
I
cabinet.
just shoot the lock off, and I can get all my keys.
Yeah, it's somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it.
It's a one-time use.
Basically.
But no, like I don't know. So I do want kids now, but I mean like, yeah, it'll be hard, but like,
See, I want kids, but I'm scared to have kids.
why? Scared
It's-
of everything.
I am scared of it.
Is it because of today's world, or is this?
It's a combination of today's world. It's a combination of, oh my God, what do I do once I have this kid, and then I find I can't afford to feed it, and I can't afford to take care of it, and I just...
Then just go on social assistance and welfare and be a piece of shit.
I don't want to be a piece of shit.
That's not a shitty thing to do, people who are out there. Sorry.
I know people who purposely do that.
Open mouth insert.
People
foot.
who abuse
People
it.
who abuse it have kids specifically so that they can go on welfare, get assistance, and do that type of thing. Fuck you.
And then
guys.
what you said about kids going to school, like my sister homeschools her girls, and
is that for religious reasons by chance, or is it just because of?
it is, but well, sort of. I think it's a combination of that and the fact that she doesn't want her kids susceptible to what's out there in
See, that's
in
the
the high
thing.
school.
Is like I don't like I know people who are homeschooled who are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
My problem is that there's this huge street smarts, common sense sort of social aspect that comes with going to school.
Yeah.
That like, yes, you go to that school and you're going to be exposed to all different people who, with various degrees of right and wrong, and they might do drugs and they might have weapons for some reason or whatever, and they might be violent, they might be rude, they might something like that. But at the same time, there's a vast amount of people out there who are good,
Yeah.
who are of different cultures and races and religions, and I feel like that exposure is really good too.
See, she doesn't strictly homeschool them. They have a co-op at the end of every week, so they get to go out and they get to interact with other kids
Yeah.
and learn with other kids. That's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's better than just straight homeschooling, I think. Because to me, I have an issue with just straight homeschooling. They never get that interaction with other children. You know what I mean?
And that's really the big thing is that, I mean,
But she does. They do a co-op every Friday, I think it is. They have a co-op. So they go out, they meet up with other kids that are homeschooled. They do their thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like I went to some schools where, like in elementary school, they had to implement an early sex ed program because we were all talking about blowjobs and like teaching each other how to make.
You
it
guys
and
had
stuff.
no idea what
And,
a
like,
blowjob was.
Everyone's getting
We
pregnant.
did.
Why?
We did though. That was the problem. Is when somebody found out, they were like, "What the fuck?" Are like these kids know too much and they don't know enough all at the same time.
They know enough
and
to
then,
be dangerous.
And then and then I went exactly. And then I went to a middle school, which was right with like drugs and smoking. That's as people got into that. And then high school was just a combination of both to the nth degree, which was it was crazy. And I feel like I turned out fine. I feel like I turned out better for it because I know how to deal with those situations.
yeah,
the teacher,
you're fine.
Like I feel like if I was out on the street and somebody came up and they were just like, "Hey, you want to buy some drugs?" I wouldn't like panic and be like, "This is a bad person. I have to get away." You know what I mean? Like
you dicker with them a little bit and make sure you got the right price.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to public school, so I know how to haggle on my drugs.
See for sex ed, my sex ed teacher was just my homeschool my homeroom teacher, right?
Yeah.
And she was high all the time. Like she was in her 20s. You could tell she was high all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous too, right? So it's kind of like tempting these.
Wait, is this one of those
like,
situations where you're about to tell us that you slept with your teacher and that was your first sexual experience?
No, but she was like you could tell that she was having a really hard time not giggling at her responses.
Yeah.
Because it's like name a part of the human body, and like immediately one of the guys stands up and says titties.
Yeah, I remember we had an anonymous question box in our 6th grade sex ed class, and that was a mistake and a half. Because I strictly remember the guidance counselor pulling out a piece of paper, and it was like, "How many times do you have to pee in a girl to make her pregnant?" And it was like, and he just sort of stopped and he goes, "I hope this is a joke." He's like, "We've been doing this for 2 weeks now."
Well, that's the thing. I guess what was weird to me is that they took all the girls into a room to show them how to put a condom on, but they didn't do anything with the guys. It's like that's kind of crucial for people to know.
I guess. But I mean, like, in the 6th grade, we're having this class election. Or just a student body election. And I liked volunteering for things that didn't involve classwork. So I volunteered to count the votes. And it happened to be during the boys only sex ed class. So I was like, "Oh, I missed that." And they were like, "Well, it's important, so we'll put you in the girls only one." So all these girls and then me sitting in the back watching a video on how to like use tampons and stuff. And I was like, and I was just like, "All right, now that I fully understand this, what about my stuff?"
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
What about
like,
my side?
Like it didn't look like that. Like, what do I do? What do I do with this?
Where do I put my tampon?
Yeah.
Soak it in rum.
11 years old, and I'm just like, "Mom, I can't figure out where to put my tampon."
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my tampon.
I wasn't that dumb. Could you imagine, though? Where do I put my tampon?
What would be in the boys only stuff, really? Like,
The boys only stuff had to do with, I guess, understanding that
semen gets people pregnant.
random erections are natural, and and stuff like that, and and they did teach the boys about putting a condom on. That wasn't a girls taught thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's,
So
Makes sense.
yeah.
actually, have we talked about? You just mentioned something that I think we should talk about eventually.
Putting condoms on.
Yeah, we're gonna do an
Before
entire
that.
episode on putting
Tampons.
a condom on, and where to put your male tampons.
Well, actually, I remember that. That was from the Man Show. They had the Man Pond. Did you ever see that?
No.
It was for guys who were playing sports and their butt crack would get sweaty, and it was a big giant tampon that you wedge between your cheeks.
Where do you get
and
these?
I remember they showed like these average Joes playing basketball, and one of the guys had like a string hanging out of his shorts, like a little bit. The Man Pond. That shit was stupid, but I liked it. But anyway, no, like I don't know. I'd like to have kids. I think I'd do an alright job with it. But back when I first moved out and I could hardly take care of myself, I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's
And
different.
that's really the big thing is, I can barely take care of myself. I don't know if I could handle a tiny human.
That's right. I would hate.
I don't
for
know.
my-
Wouldn't your roommates help out with a kid if you had one?
I would hate for my kid to go to school and the teacher's just like, "What did you have for supper last night?" And it's just like, "I ate like a whole pizza and a box of chicken wings with Dad." And I was
well-
like, "What?"
Oh, buddy of mine says, he's like, if you have kids, our friendship is over until that kid is at least 12. So he half jokingly says it.
He loves 12-year-olds.
No, it's like, it's the point where it's like, new parents are insufferable, and I completely understand that.
What?
Well, yeah, it's like, look at this picture of my cute kid. Dude, your kid looks like a fucking
Oh, I
potato.
would not be one of those parents. If my kid looks like a friggin' toadstool after it's born, I'm gonna be like, my kid's ugly. Like, I'm gonna cover it up. Don't look at it.
I looked like an old man when I was a baby, and my grandmother used to call me Mr. Magoo.
Mr.
So
McGee.
not
Like,
only were you Mr. Manzy Poopy Pie, you were also known as Mr. Magoo.
that's funny.
This is getting more and more interesting.
Yeah.
What other childhood nicknames can I learn about you? Mike's mom. Put some in the comments below. Any embarrassing nicknames about Mike, we want to know all about them.
I didn't have any. I opened right
If you
up
want to
with
make
that.
some up now and pretend that they were real then, I'll gladly back you up on that.
Oh, come on.
You know she'll
Let's
do
end
it
this
too,
now.
don't you?
Lessons learned?
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
I think we should all have kids and try and time it so they're all growing up together.
Lessons learned, I'm keeping Greg's children away from my child.
My
Yeah.
kid's gonna bully your
That's
kid.
gonna be really weird when we're all on like a phone. We're all on Skype together. It's like, okay, are you doing it now? And it's like, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, me too. Okay,
Alright,
go.
let's
Go.
plan this. So
Now
yeah,
release.
lessons learned. The best part about
Conclude.
kids. The best part about kids is making them.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just stole Mike's wrap up.
I don't. No. Like I don't know if that's the best part about kids.
I think the best part about kids is trying to make them.
Okay, trying. I don't know. Biggest lessons learned here is just try not to bring your kids into a shitty world that Alex is.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode of The Words Are Hard show. Let us know in the comments below whether you think we should have kids or not. We should.
The answer is no.
Anyway, as always, we have our social media links down below. We have Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. We're still selling t-shirts down there. Put our face on your chest. If you want to subscribe to our videos, click on the link over there between Mike and Alex. And if you want to watch one of our previous videos, then click on the link right here. Thanks for watching.